let's talk about some in-game oddities. The Object 907 is a Clan Wars war tank, which is no longer nearly as often pinned up on the wall of overpowered Clan Wars war tanks, largely due to the eclipse of the Chieftain. However, as with many tanks that drift from the forefront of relevancy into quiet obsolescence, the 907 isn't a bad tank. It's just been outstripped by the ever-advancing meta, surpassed by tanks such as the VZ-55, the Chieftain, and yes, indeed, the Object 140 in most game circumstances. Be that as it may, the oddity that we're focusing on today is probably partially to blame for the player base's claims of the tank being overpowered. You see, the 907, much like the T-22 Medium and the Object 257, has a boat-shaped hull, which results in some seriously fine bounces for those shooting at it. Just an aside to say, I personally think that these boat-shaped hulls are asinine from a game design point of view, and I don't think it's something we as a player base should encourage. I'm okay. Fear not. Anyhow, the 907's armour model on the lower plate doesn't extend out to the edges, meaning if you shoot here, you will never do any damage to the vehicle. Now, this is expected if you know about the shape of the hull, and indeed it is consistent with those other vehicles that I mentioned. However, while on these vehicles, there is a clear visual differentiation between what can and can't be hit and penned, on the 907, you get this. An entire, complete, angular looking lower plate that looks for all the world to any reasonable player like a solid, easy shot with no indication whatsoever that as far as World of Tanks is concerned, a good 40% of that lower plate doesn't actually exist. That, to me, is thick old game design. Thoughts? The Swedish tank destroyers with their siege mode gain access to a variety of advantages and disadvantages, one of which we covered in the previous episode of this Odd Things series that I'm doing, which was their ability to climb up into ridiculous places using their lack of engine stalling. Another advantage, probably seldom utilised however, is that in siege mode, these tanks can stave off drowning at significantly greater depths than almost any other vehicle. Almost any vehicle. The ARL is an interesting one, multi-nuanced. For example, with its 105mm gun, its premium shells have more penetration and more damage. Good news for all you gold spammers out there. In addition, the 90mm F3 gun is almost certainly better than its upgrade, the 90mm DCA-45, with better rate of fire and far better aim time. Now you may cite the penetration loss and accuracy as reasons for choosing this gun. However, the accuracy is negligible as a disadvantage, and as for the penetration, they're relatively close to each other on both guns, and the ARL's pen is so good anyway that you do better with the aim time and rate of fire of the lesser tiered gun in most matchups. Our focus today though is on the armour. You see, like the Churchills from the British line, its tracks extend past the hull. Unlike the British heavies however, it can in fact be penned in those areas, as there's a portion of the tracks that registers as part of the tank itself. Oh, look at this. Okay, alright. So, Tannis, if you just shoot the... just above my frontal plate. Like...
That's
hold
a
up. Wait. Are you serious?
Yeah.
That damage!
A little more inside. That's another pin.
Holy shit! Wait, hold up, Tannis, wait a minute.
Yeah.
You just killed my radio. How the fuck fuck is my radio there? Perhaps not a crippling weakness of the tank, but a novelty to be aware of, something to add to your bag of tricks. Go! The Chinese light tanks are the patron saints of mediocrity within World of Tanks, and our fun fact today is that the WZ-132-1, the Tier 10 Chinese light tank, can weigh a maximum of 33 tons, and this is in fact 1 ton more than the Swedish heavy tank, the Emil-1. It's a girthy boy. The Bourrasque is a tank that stimulates opinions, to say the least. People say it's overpowered, and it may be so when you exploit certain game mechanics. See, one of the field mods that the Bourrasque can use is called the Module Durability Increase. One of its effects is it improves the dispersion of a damaged gun by 20%. Now, people don't often use this, but if you do use it, and combine it with the gunner skill armourer, which also increases the accuracy of a damaged gun, you mount up vents, use a vent purge, put premium consumable on it to boost the effectiveness of the crew further, what happens is you get a situation where damaging the gun, theoretically, makes it more accurate. But surely that's just statistics. That doesn't actually work. That would be silly. Let me check the... Oh, yep. Nice. Oh my... Holy... It's legit. Look at how accurate this thing is! Holy sh... Oh my... God! It's a damaged gun Bourrasque, and it is god tier accurate.
You realize what you've just done, eh, Stephen?
That is amazing!
You've just created about 100 friggin' Watt players on the EU server that the first thing out of the bottle they're gonna look to damage their gun.
No, you can't do it to yourself.
Well, what I mean, yeah, I can just see you, but you know, that's what I mean. They're gonna be looking for ways to damage their gun somehow.
The problem is, the thing about this, is you can't use this setup with a large repair kit. Because if you get tracked and you use the repair kit, it will repair your gun and make you less accurate. The GW Tiger is a Tier 9 German arty. It's a fairly mediocre vehicle, with some intriguing visual elements. The most striking being this platform on the back, which historically is for the gun. The gun would be winched off the vehicle and placed on this platform, carried on the back to allow 360 degrees of rotation. Here in the game, however, it remains mounted on the rear of the tank and acts as 10mm of spaced armour. Now, 10mm of spaced armour isn't going to block much of anything. However, unlike other examples of spaced armour within the game, there's no armour directly behind it. Instead, a shell passing through this shield would have to travel a few meters before hitting more armour and trying to pen that, and shells in World of Tanks don't do that. I'll explain this as simply as I can. This is a Tier 9 German arty. This is 10mm of spaced armour. This is a Jagdpanzer E100 with a 170mm gun loaded with high explosive anti-tank rounds with 420mm of penetration, the highest in the entire game. What? Perspective for you. This is a 40mm shell. The shell that the Jagdpanzer E100 fires is over 4 times bigger than this. And what the tanks is implying that a sheet of armour 10 times thinner then this piece of wood is going to stop that shell. It seems like to me, I am not entirely certain why this happens. It only works with heat shells, and it only counts as block damage if the shell is on a trajectory that would intersect with a pennable object after passing the shield. Oddly enough though, if you take a UE-57 and reverse it behind the shield, it can shoot out, but no one can shoot back in, effectively making the UE-57 immortal, which is mildly terrifying. But fuck it, here's a GW Tiger blocking over 1 million points of damage with Captain America's shield.
It's that spaced armor, please!
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, 978. Why? 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 You know, I think that's the wrong question. I think the real question here is why did these lovely OI experimentals spend a combined 17,280,000 credits on premium heat shells to do this, if you won't even hit the like and subscribe buttons? Ladies and gentlemen, $1 million points of blocked damage on the ass. Why? Why? I just don't know. Hell Hydra, y'all. Hey, thanks for watching. Do check out the first episode in this series. It will come up on the end screen. Also, Stream Shenanigans playlist will pop up if you want a really good laugh. Also, we did the biggest ram kill in the entirety of War of the Tanks a while back, so you can look at that as well. And do be sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons, otherwise I will send you to the same place that my hair is currently at. It's not a pleasant place.
Master of variety, creator of the classiest society, and nothing can beat him but the Tiger P, he's always delivering. That is no Estonia, his hands are calm. That is wargaming shivering, strong like a Range Rover, hot like a flamethrower. He'll beat your chieftain in the talk, game over. Raping games and KV trains, rushing.